Thank you.
It's a little.
Yeah, well, once it comes on, we'll get started.
Just let me know that light is
Keep it. Because that's red, does that mean it's not working, Frank? Frank, that's red. Yeah, but the other one's green. Good call, and I didn't see that. Yeah, now
He
it's
said
red.
we're good. We're live.
We're good?
We're good.
All right. All right, we're here for a special meeting tonight, 6 o'clock. We had no closed session. We're going to go right into open session. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Calderon.
Here.
Marino.
Here.
Matro.
Here.
R. Rodeo.
here.
S. Rodeo.
Here.
Scipione.
Here.
Mayor Fagioni.
Here.
Notice this meeting has been posted and given to official newspapers. Please familiarize yourself with the fire exits to the right rear council chambers. Please do not proceed beyond the front benches without invitation from the mayor to do so. Also, each person who wishes to address council will be allotted 5 minutes.
All rise for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll dispense with the regular order of business. First opportunity for the public to be heard on action items only. If you want to talk now, you can talk. If you want to talk prior to any resolution, we could set it up that way, whatever you're comfortable with. Come on up, please.
And just state your name and address for the record, please,
Andy Culpepper,
and your address.
One Tower Center, New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andy Culpepper, and I'm with the Laborers Union, and I'm here to represent in regards of this project here, 12th Street and 54th Street water main replacement. This contractor that's coming from Florida, Murphy Pipeline Contractor, through investigations that we had, they're not registered to do any kind of work here in Jersey, which is one of the qualifications that they asked for here on your bidder's notice. Also, we found out that they don't even have workers' comp to do any work here in Jersey. So I don't know where these workers are coming from, because they're from Florida. So I'm sure they're bringing probably people from Florida, not hiring people here from New Jersey. And also, on top of that, they got $17,000 in OSHA violations. So I don't know if you guys are aware of the contractors that you're looking to award here. I just would like to bring that out to the open. And if you guys need any kind of paperwork, I could probably bring that to you. Also is that I've noticed on the bid, he's the only contractor that's bidding on this. And there's no other contractors that could, like bid maybe lower than he is and give it a compatible shot on the bidders. I don't know if that's okay with everybody here, but to me, it looks like if you're gonna do something like that, you like to try to get a couple contractors in there where you can get different kind of numbers and see who could be the lowest and who could be a more responsible contractor due to this job. So.
And you,
that's-
I believe you can't get the license you're talking about has to be, you're supposed to have that before you bid.
Before you bid.
can't get that after you
can't
win.
get it after, because in your paperwork here for the.
Right.
bid quote, you have to have it before.
Correct, that's
All
what I
right,
was
so,
told.
all right, a couple things. The contractor prior to bid applied for a public works contractor registration. We have the number that they applied, and we've already spoken to the DOL regarding the subject, so they're aware of it as well.
Okay, because, yeah,
The workers' comp they'll have to furnish insurance certificates prior to anything.
Correct. That's a requirement under contract, correct.
And I just want to, if you just allow me a minute to kind of explain where we are with this whole situation. Route 54 is broken up in two phases. This is phase one. We were holding off doing the construction because we were asking the DOT for an extension. There's a big project going on now. It's been going on for a year and a half. We spent the last 4 or 5 months pleading with the DOT. In order for us to get our pipe work done, we need an extension. They granted us an extension the very, very end of April. They sent us an email, the federal government did. It's a federally funded project. And they said, we're going to allow an extension. They didn't give us any time frame, they gave us nothing. About a month went by, they sent us an email saying it's a 1-year extension, and they backdated it starting April 1st. So in order for us to do the work, we have to be done by April 1st of next year. While all this was going on, we've had our plans in review with DOT and with the NJDEP, who oversees the H2 loans, for about a year, maybe a little bit longer. They approved our plans to go out to bid in May. Our situation is a little bit, it's very time sensitive. So we're up against it because of the construction schedule and the allotment of time that the feds gave us to put the work in. The fiscal year for the state ends the end of June. If we don't close on the loan, we lose $2 million in principal forgiveness. When we opened up the bids, I believe it was the same day, it could have been the next day, James, Mr. Matro, myself, Mr. Rodeo, Mr. Zuber, along with Mr. Raymond from ARH, we huddled up. We said, okay, what are we gonna do? Because under normal circumstances, I would say one bidder, we gotta start over. So we called.
12 packages were picked up.
Yeah, 12 packages were picked
No
up,
one returned
one bid.
anything.
Okay,
It's
so.
not like there wasn't other people. They couldn't do the work. Go
So,
ahead, Mayor,
I'm sorry. So we called up the DOT, told them the story. DOT said, look, there should be enough time for you to reject the bids, go out to bid, and then still get your money. But you gotta check with the NJDEP, because they oversee the loan. We called up the NJDEP, they said, no, there's not enough time to reject the bid, resubmit, and then close. We have to close it's either June 18th or 19th, or we lose the $2 million, which is a principal forgiveness. So we said, okay, what do we do? So we contacted DOT, it's a DOT road. Ultimately, they have to approve this over us. Correct. Ran the whole scenario by them. They're in the process of concurring with our bid, because they know how time sensitive it is. So tonight, we're asking to award conditional on DOT, state DOT approving the contractor, because it's their road, with some other conditions we're gonna list here forth to move forward for phase one. This is phase one of a two-phase project. Our issue is, I gotta come back to it to say, if we don't close on this loan, we lose $2 million in principal. That's our conundrum here. So that's why we're trying to move here at a rapid pace. The other part of it, I need everyone to understand this. When the federal DOT gave the letter to the state DOT allowing for the time extension, they said April 1, 2027 is your deadline. And get all your funding in place and get going. We know, I mean, I've been doing contracting my whole adult life. Pearson, who's the contractor for the state on Route 54, who's doing the big project, they're gonna be entitled to de-escalation costs or demobilization, remobilization costs, increased cost in labor, increased cost in material, and God knows what else they're gonna come up with. It's all justified, don't get me wrong. But nowhere in that letter did the federal government say the town is gonna be responsible. Our fear is, if we don't move and keep this project going, we hit April and we're not done. And the DOT, by the way, already asked that they be included in all the meetings, which we will allow them, of course we want to be included. But my fear is, if we don't get to the April and not get these two projects done, phase one and phase two, now these liquidated damages are going to come into play. And I'm afraid that the feds are going to say, you know what, town, you didn't hit your mark, now you pay for it. So I got the the liquidated damages over here on one side that we could potentially face from the existing contractor, Pearson, if we don't comply. And then on this side, if we don't hit the June 18 or 19 mark, we lose $2 million in principal. That's our conundrum right now. That's where we are.
All right, so, I mean, if you had a situation like this, why was it fixed before that? If you knew the bids, there was only one guy who was bidding on this
The
number.
day that we opened the bids were open late May.
May 19th.
May 19th.
Tuesday, May
The
19th.
day that they were open, it was either that day or the next day, we huddled up to figure out what to do. And that's when we called up the DOT and NJDEP. And NJDEP flat out told us, they're the ones who administer the loan for the state. If we delay, in other words, if we reject the bids and go out for rebid, June 30th ends the fiscal year for the state. This project will get pushed into July, which means we lose the $2 million in funding for '26.
I understand all that.
But let me, there's another part of this. Phase 2, which they're going to go over all of our, we've already submitted the paperwork for them to go over, them being NJDEP. They've already told us that once they approve to go out for bid for Phase 2, we'll get another $2 million. So if we don't take this $2 million, everything gets pushed forward a year. Then we can't do the project. So this is, assuming that the state DOT approves the contractor, this is the best situation we can come up with to make sure we get this year's $2 million loan forgiveness, principal forgiveness, and then also get the $2 million starting in July for Phase 2. Because we have to be done by April. That's our situation.
And all 11 other contractors had their chance till that morning to come. You know that better than I do. We didn't know that nobody else was gonna bid. We didn't know there was not another Pearson can't do this work. Whoever would have thought that? I mean, how do we know? And then all of a sudden, that morning, James, one bidder.
One bidder.
Do you have a list of the contractors that bid on the job?
I'm sure, James, you have them? Yep,
Yes, I can
absolutely.
provide that.
If you could provide that.
Sure.
All I'm asking is right now, if it could be held for at least a week,
It can't be.
No.
okay? Because, I mean, like we said right now, paperworks here aren't correct. You guys are asking for certain kind of paperwork.
Well-
You said he did the work in here, registered himself, but he doesn't have workers' comp, which is another one that you gotta have to do work here in Jersey. So we gotta have a contractor here that's gonna come from out of state to do work here. We're one of our contractors here that are registered, got workers' comp and use people here from Jersey to do the work.
My
And
only
you're saying that there's no window here to work with?
But sir, they all had their chance throughout the state. Every contractor saw this project going out. Where were they? Now all of a sudden we have to wait for them? Is that fair to us? They all had their chance, didn't they?
I think you had a little window there to kind of figure out, what can be
James, how
done
long was
and
the
put it out
contract for out
to
there
bid.
for?
So the bid was out there for a minimum of 30 days. That's what the
Okay.
DEP requires.
Where were they for 30 days? Now you're asking us to wait because it's.
I don't know, I don't work for them.
Right.
I don't
I mean,
even,
all I see, there's something here that we got a little discrepancy here of what's supposed to be get done the right way, and it's not.
So,
So,
we vote.
Hold on,
Go ahead.
all right, so,
Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
So, Mr. Peppa, I called down the listed contractors to 12. The 11 that did not provide their bid. The reason they did not provide their bid was the timing wasn't good, they're too busy on other jobs, they don't want to do pipe bursting, which is a method of construction that we picked due to it's a state road and there's so much traffic on Route 54. They don't want to deal with it. Now, this contractor, Murphy Pipelines, they reached out to us, they were very interested, they do pipe bursting, they on their bid, and as you know, they submitted an experience sheet. They've been doing this similar type of work in different states. So that's why we considered, DEP also reviewed the contracts, and as far as I know, the approval tonight is contingent upon DEP's concurrence.
correct.
So the feds are also looking at this, as well as us, and us too. So there's checks and balances. So to answer your questions, I called them down. Those were the reasons why they did not provide their bid. The mayor knows that. I called
Yeah,
him
yeah.
the
Now-
day after.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, finish up, James, I'm sorry.
I'm good.
So the other part of our situation is, today is the 8th.
Yeah.
They told us tentatively we're gonna close 18th or 19th, H2 loans. They need 10 days to get their paperwork in order. So we award, DEP concurs, then the H2 loans gets their paperwork together from the state, so we can close on the loan. It can't close past the 18th or 19th, right, Frank?
Correct.
Because they need 10 days in order for the state to close out their books for the year. So that's why we picked tonight, because this is literally the last day that we can award it, so that we have 10 days closing, 10 days to the end of the month.
Yeah, this isn't our normal council meeting, it's not till the end of the month. This is a special meeting because of this. That's why we're sitting here.
Now, the paperwork that they submitted to register, is that dated?
That is dated, yes, prior to the
Because-
bid opening.
Because
November-
what I'm
May-
getting from Department of Labor, they're not registered.
May 11th?
So I don't know where they got that from.
So, I don't want to speak out of turn, but Mr. Zuber talked to the Department of Labor. We have the public registration, Public Works contractor registration 511 that they applied for with a confirmation number. The Department of Labor is aware of the whole timing situation, and they're working with the contractor to resolve it. So, what we can do is we can make the motion contingent on a bunch of things here, if that makes everybody more comfortable.
We could do what?
We can make the motion
Contingent.
contingent on a bunch of different things here. One,
helps.
they have to furnish a public works contractor registration, valid, that department, there's so many Ds, that DOL agrees with.
Yeah.
Two, NJDEP has to concur with the bid award. In my mind, and I'm probably saying more than I should, DEP said, no, we can't get the extension because we lose the money. But in my mind, I'm thinking, if the DOT or DEP says no, well, then we can go back to the state and say, wait a minute, we are ready to go. You guys said no, therefore you make sure we get our money in July. And don't, pardon my expression, don't screw us here. So that would be my, and I could be overthinking all this, but that's my fallback. We move, if the DEP concurs, we go about our business. If the DEP doesn't concur, fine. Now you have to give us an extension. You won't give us an extension, we asked for it, now you have to because you said no to our contract. So that's where, in my mind, we are.
Okay.
The other thing I looked into today, just so you're aware of it, I didn't know that PLAs, I thought they were 5 million and over. I didn't know that you could do it for less. So what I was gonna bring up tonight, and we could talk about this at our June meeting, we could do a PLA for phase 2 with one caveat, and that is our plans and specs have already been turned into DOT for final review. As long as that doesn't mess up any timing with phase 2, I'm sure we can consider a PLA. I just need to make sure that they would be okay with it. Because we have to get phase 2 is in for review, but they won't officially review until July. Now, does it take 2 months to review? This one took us 14. Let's say they get it done in 2 months. They know how pressing it is. That means we go out to bid September-ish. Now, we're working all winter to get ready for April. So I'm throwing the PLA out there because I think that's a reasonable request. I just need to make sure that we don't get hung up in all of our paperwork along the way for phase 2.
Okay, so you're gonna, for this right now, you're not gonna make a decision.
We're gonna make the decision right now, tonight.
You're gonna make a decision.
Yes. And then we're
Even though
gonna,
with all this,
we're gonna put it subject to a bunch of things.
and is it gonna move forward or we're gonna
It's
wait?
subject to those things.
It'll be,
So-
so the
it's
way
gonna-
that,
Yeah, go ahead.
the way that we can phrase it, you know, you guys have to make the motion here, would be contingent on, number one, NJDEP and DOT or just DEP? NJDEP concurring with our bid. Two, they have to have a valid Public Works registration license prior to start. Three, they have to make sure they have all of their insurances in place.
Correct.
Now, that's only 120 calendar days. So we award, they start to clock probably in a week, right? So there's not a lot of time here, but we will make the award contingent on those things. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but that'd be my suggestion. I'm sorry, I don't mean to talk out of turn here.
I'll speak for myself, not the rest of the council here. These two projects are, I understand you're from North Jersey, whatever. is one of the most major projects that's gonna happen in this town with 15,000 people is all we are, in the next 10 to 15 years. I'm willing here to put myself on the line. I've been sitting here, December's gonna be 18 years. That this project is one of the most important projects of this town to get done. And if we're up against these timelines, we didn't cause this. We didn't cause this. I'm the government, the federal government, the Pope, whoever caused it is not, we tried. We tried as hard as we could. I sat in every one of the meetings with him and also with Frank and whoever else sat there. I'm good with it. I'll take my name on the line right here tonight. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. I get it. I get it 100%. But you also got to understand where we're coming from.
I understand that, but there's a department right now that's looking to move forward on this, and that's why I'm trying to see if we could get some time that you could open up the window a little bit, where you work on it. And I know you got a time frame to do it by and everything else. I'm not asking you for 2 weeks. I'm not, anything like that. Few days.
But I gotta go back to our time crunch is this. We award, DEP concurs with us. That paperwork goes to NJDEP, who administers the loan for the state. They need 10 days. That puts us around the 18th or 19th, so that we can close on the loan. You need 10 days from the date they close before the end of the month, which is the end of the fiscal year for New Jersey. That puts us, if we hit all our marks, June 29th. If everything works out right, June 29th.
And here's the
So if we, now, I'm sorry, one last thing. In order for us to delay tonight, we have to re-advertise a meeting. That's at least 48 hours, minimum. So if we delay for 2 days, we now go July 1, July 2, we just lost $2 million. It's that we have 22 days, of which I know we need 20. 10 days of documentation to get to the loan closing, 10 days, and then 10 days after the loan closing for the state to wrap up their fiscal year.
I'm gonna go back to my department and let them know.
Okay?
I know they got paperwork they wanna push, and, I wish we could find something easier that we could work with. I'd like to get the copy of the registration to do work here.
Whatever you need, yes, whatever.
I'd like to get a card, so the person who I gotta get in touch with, I can get all the paperwork.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Just so you know, one other thing, this has been discussed at the last 3 meetings, council meetings, and how this had to get done, everything we've been up against and where we're going with this. So this has been very well, at least for broadcast during meetings.
Yeah, I mean, like you're telling me you guys had meetings, you knew that this was gonna come
They're
down
all
this way.
advertised.
So it's like, why wasn't it put into thought, what if, you know what I mean, if this guy ain't registered? I mean, like, the paperwork, didn't he tell you he didn't have no paperwork?
He put in the bid, which is
He
all
put in
that's
the bid.
required.
Okay,
He applied for the registration.
and that was inside with the bid package, or he sent that in?
That was
later?
inside with the bid package.
That was in the bid
That
package?
was inside the
all
bid
right.
package.
I'd like to get that. Well, also, what are we doing here with the compensation? Does
Compensation.
he have that? To register, workers' compensation?
Before he proceeds, he will have to have furnace insurance
Okay,
certificates.
but that's another thing that you gotta have.
You do
as
not
a
need to
bid.
have that. It's prior to bid award. I'm
Okay.
sorry, prior to start, not prior to award.
Because that's
Mike,
gonna
am I
take
correct?
some time to get,
Understood.
So
Understood.
that might delay your project again.
But it may. But at the end of the day, if a delay is not caused by us, then we have grounds to go back to the state and say, look, we did A, we did B, we did C, we did everything we could do. Now you need to delay the funding for us.
And that's where
Right
that
now,
solicitor comes into
we were
play.
told point blank, they will not delay the funding.
So now, if he delays your project, right, because you said, what is it, 112 days? or it has to be
120
done
days.
by
There's liquidated
112?
damage.
And if it delays it, what's gonna happen then?
It will trigger liquidated damages.
Okay,
Yes, it's there in the
so
specs.
is that gonna harm your other $2 million?
No. Two separate projects. It's two separate projects.
There's phase 1, phase 2. One goes from what we call First Road to Second Road. Phase 2 goes from Central Avenue right out here to First Road. two separate projects.
Okay. I'd like to get a copy also of the 11 contractors that bid on that job.
But Pearson's work, just so you understand, goes from the expressway, which is out of town, to 54.
So let's-
I mean, to 30 rather, I'm sorry. The entire length of 54, they're just sitting there waiting.
Mr. Zuber will give you his email. Send us over every document you want.
Okay.
All right, I want to reemphasize again, with everyone so they understand. Day the bid opens, we call DOT, ask them for relief. They sent us to NJDEP. DEP said no. We could not do what we were asking to do, which was delay. 2, we've already notified the Department of Labor about this issue. So in our eyes, we have done everything we could above board to make sure that everyone on the state level knows, 1, what we're up against, and 2, what's going on.
All right. How quick can I get that information?
Submit an open request to Frank and he'll get it over to you.
And that would take me, how long?
However long it takes for you to get the open request in.
Yeah. I'll give you my email address, send me an email, and I'll get it to you by tomorrow. It's no problem.
And we're sorry to have to make you come down here, believe me. We didn't want this like nobody else didn't want this.
Listen, our job also is not to, what do you call it, to hurt anybody here.
Understood.
Like you said, if you're looking at, doing PLAs down the road and stuff like that, okay, it's great, but we also, try to enforce certain laws that get put out there, because everybody puts time into these things. Sure. To get some laws, to get good contractors in there, qualified contractors that don't come and cheat. Now, you're getting a contractor that's coming out of Florida, okay? We're gonna be on top of this.
That's fine.
Okay, we're gonna be on top of it. This guy better be on the up and up, because I would hate, right, to see that this contractor does anything wrong, okay, that we have to, stop the project or hurt anything.
And believe me, we don't want anything like that. We don't want nothing like
No,
that.
we agree. And
I'm
that's
sure you
why,
probably had contractors like that you don't wanna deal with.
right,
You know what I mean?
and that's why it's so important that when we're done awarding, that the DEP concurs with us. They're doing their due diligence and vetting as well. They could say no tomorrow, and then we're back to the drawing board again. But ultimately, it's our call, but the DEP overrides us.
Okay.
Here you go, Andy.
All right, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming too.
I'm sorry.
All right, so we're going to continue. So we have a resolution, 98, 2026, to award the contract, Route 54 Water Main Project, for the 12th Street, Phase 1, to Murphy Pipeline in the amount of $3,010,100. So let's get a motion on the floor so we can talk about this.
Motion.
I'll second the motion.
S Rodeo, Metro. All right, now, we could structure this any way you guys feel comfortable with. So give us your qualifications so we can put them in there with the resolution.
Don't we gotta make sure they're registered in the
They
state?
should absolutely be registered. They
So,
should
okay.
absolutely have
All right,
workers'
one-
comp.
okay,
One thing at a time.
one thing at a time. So, they have to have a valid Public Works
Contractor's registration,
thank you, prior to commencement of work. Okay, 1,
proof of insurance.
proof of insurance. 2, I'm gonna throw in there
NJDEP
1,
concurrence.
concurrence from NJDEP. 3, is there anything else you guys wanna put in the resolution?
Solicitor, I'll change it if you say there's something else needs to go. If not,
Those
I'm
are the
good to
three
go.
main things.
They're the three main things?
Anybody
I'll
else?
adjust my motion
All right, so
to what the solicitor
So
has.
Metro Rodeo, we're gonna adjust their motion to include the 3. Is there
Yes.
anything else that needs to be included that I'm missing?
May I say one thing, Mayor?
Yes.
Sir, you're still here. Is there anything else?
No, I just wanted to.
I understand, I'm just,
Okay.
did we miss some? I don't want to miss nothing.
No, it's like.
Okay.
Okay. I just wanted to ask. I just thought I'd ask. I'm
All right,
good
I'm
then.
gonna go around the room. Anthony, you good?
I'm good.
JD, you good?
With the inclusion of the valid public works license and the workers' comp and the DEP concurrence, I am happy with
Okay.
that motion.
Sam, you're good?
I'm good.
Renee?
Same thing.
Ray? Are you good?
Yeah.
All right. Jimmy, you good?
Yes.
All right. Now, so we won't proceed any further after this award, pending award, until DEP gives us the notification.
Correct.
If and when that happens, the packet goes immediately to we'll be back to the DEP, and then they would get us to closing, which we're shooting on the 18th or 19th, which makes us by the end of the month. All right, now, a couple other things we should go over. There'll be a pre-construction meeting. We're gonna include the DOT in all of this. It's the DOT road, it's the DOT deadline that we all have to comply with, so they'll be a part of the meeting. The notice to proceed won't go out until all these items are hit, right?
Correct.
Correct, okay. Once that, let's say this happens. You're talking another 30 or 45 days. Contract administration, submittals, they gotta order the pipe, all that. So best case scenario is shovel in the ground probably late July-ish, something like that. Best case scenario. 120 days. We're gonna hold their feet to the fire.
Yes.
All right. Anything else for anybody?
I do want to ask, I suppose this is a question for James. We're talking about the timeline here. Obviously, we're up against the wall. We've talked about this. They don't currently have a valid public works license. They don't currently have workers' comp insurance, and we're targeting an end of July shovel on the ground. I'm not particularly aware of the timelines to get those things, but is this inherently disqualifying itself?
No, so.
Are these things that can be actually achieved?
The Public Works Contractor Registration, you want to elaborate on that, Frank? What did DOL tell you?
DOL talked to David Cunningham last week, and he's working along with the contractor. They have the application in, and he said they were missing a couple pieces of paperwork, and that was it. And I explained to him our situation, about the funding, about the timeline, about the state coming in and 5-year moratorium, and so he's aware of all of that. And they don't want to hold up the project in any way, and they'll work with the contractor. That's what was told to me.
The other thing, keep in mind, is this. Contractor knows the 120 days. Once we give them that notice to proceed, if they're not diligent with this, they're gonna be sunk. We got it, because then there'll be liquidated damages occur, and then it'll be a mess. In addition to that, the day that we give them notice to proceed, they gotta order material. So they're not gonna get stuck with, I don't know, $1 million worth of material if they can't produce what they need to produce. In terms of workers' comp, they are, I went on their website, they're a big company. They may not have done business here, but I'm sure they can get workers' comp. It's not that hard to get. So, but again, we won't give the notice to proceed, which is the final step, until we get all these documents in front of us.
Do we have any insight into what documents are not included in that application?
I do not. I was not told that information.
Can I ask one question to the union rep?
Sure.
How uncommon is it that, I mean, do you see a lot that we wouldn't get any bids from union contractors on a job? I mean, I'm not, it's a
Within the state?
$3 million job. Yeah, within the state. I mean, is that, I mean, I would imagine that we,
If you
you
can
know.
step up to the mic so people can hear you at home, thank you.
Now, your question is, again, that
Does this happen a lot, that a union company wouldn't bid on a job like this, or?
no, we got contractors that like to bid on $80,000 jobs to $45 million jobs.
I'm just trying to
So-
figure out what happened to this one, what happened here.
I don't know. I don't know how we went out to bid, how it's a public bid, it went on the paper. You only maybe called certain contractors to bid. I don't know. That's why I'm asking to see who were the other 11 contractors that were there, to see if any of them were my contractors, because I know my contractors bid on anything. You know, it doesn't make a difference on what size it is. If it's not their scope of work, they're gonna go do it. I mean, you know, we have contractors, what we call mom and pops, you know, where the owner themselves work. They get in a backhoe, they do the excavating, or they're in there mixing concrete. They're on the job site all the time.
Right.
And they have a work crew of maybe 6. That's how big they are. And then we got guys that got 100-man crew, and they don't do nothing. You know what I mean? Except, you know, give out the word. Sure. I mean, listen, they earned that. You know what I mean? They earned that. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, some of our companies that we got are around for 60 years. You know what I mean? And
Just
they deserve
surprised.
to, you know, be there. But they are qualified. They do the job. And put it this way, I got contractors that do 45 and even do $80,000 job.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, 12 bids were taken, 12 packets were taken. I'm sure there had to be some union companies
Well,
that picked up the, you know,
and
the
just
packets.
Just so you're aware, too, we've been speaking a lot with Pearson because they're the contractor doing the work for the DOT.
Aria Pearson?
Yes,
Yeah.
Pearson picked up the plans and submitted probably 4 pages of questions we had to put an addendum to, along with another contractor, right? So it's not like they saw it, they had it. We issued an addendum and answered all of their questions.
I mean, they're not a small company, you know that. I don't have to tell you who they are.
Right. So, and we were,
What happened?
I will say this, we were hoping, rooting, I don't know what the right
Yeah.
word is, because it just made logistical sense.
Sure.
Pearson's here,
There.
do the pipe, and continue about your project.
The whole project.
They didn't
Yeah.
bid it. So,
See,
now,
like Pearson, like you said, it's one of the big contractors out there.
Right.
They're one of our signatories
Yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah.
And Pearson himself, back in the days, he used to jump out
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get his hands dirty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now he got a little older, I haven't seen him around lately, but
Well, you
he
can
wasn't afraid to
understand
go
that.
out there and jump into a ditch or get behind a machine or something.
And you can understand
You know
that.
what I mean? So, like I said, we got a variety of different companies that do different things and
so-
for different amounts. So Pearson is like one of them, but he doesn't like pick and choose like, what's his forte, everything is for them. That's why they're in a business, so.
okay.
I don't know, you gotta ask them that, why they didn't bid.
But like I said, I mean, I'm sure there's other ones in there, who knows? Sometimes, they might not bid because, they got non-union contractors there, that let's say they're not gonna compete. Because there's a lot of things, it's a lot of work to bid on one of your projects, right? You got a lot of contractors that, let's say, they won't
I'll tell
pay
Yeah.
the prevailing wage, they'll cheat, so they'll skim somewhere. And that's what we do, we eyeball. We don't like to see any job, get stopped or anything else, but we gotta stop the bad guys who are just out there ripping taxpayers.
Absolutely.
And workers out there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I see something here that doesn't fall right for me. I always see out-of-state contractors coming in, okay, because I cover Delaware, New Jersey, New York, Long Island, okay? When I see an out-of-town contractor coming in, it's rarely that you see a good contractor coming in doing the right thing. Hiring people for the community, okay, paying them the proper wage, living wage, and not cheating nobody, okay? They usually bring their people from wherever they're from, they board them up, 10, 12 people in a room, and they give them above minimum wage. And sometimes it doesn't cover the public wage, so. But when we have to do our job, it hurts the community. And we don't want to see that. That's why I'm asking. If you did your homework with this contract, did you check with them? This company has $17,000 in violations, okay? Not a safe guy out there. So who knows how he's gonna be in your
Okay.
project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just take that into consideration.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor, was amended. We have a bunch of items we're adding to it. Anybody else?
I just have one question for James real fast. I
Okay.
may have been asked already. This timeline about putting a shovel in the ground at the end of July, is that a little bit of aggressive or is that?
Well, we're hoping aggressive, so the sooner the better. I keep on pushing them, following up with DEP, paperwork-wise, everything, so the sooner the
So it can
better.
be done?
It's possible, but, it's gonna be some work there.
Okay, all right, thanks, Mayor.
Just keep in mind, like I said, once the notice to proceed comes, the clock for this contractor starts ticking. So it's in
Right.
their best interest to get through the contract administration, get the material ordered and get started. If it takes them, let's say 60 days to get through that, there's only 60 days left in the contract. Otherwise, at the end of 120, we fine them. So that's the way it works.
I understand we're doing our job, due diligence here. And then if anyone messes, if whoever doesn't approve them, or if they screw up, that's on them. We then still get to keep our money, our 2 million,
Oh, yeah.
because we did what we were supposed to do.
Yeah, and
It's
the other-
not on us.
No, and the other part about this too is, in the bid packet, they have to provide a payment bond, a performance bond, a maintenance bond. So the last thing a contractor wants to do
Right.
is come here and screw this up because we got it.
Sure.
So they're gonna wanna come in here and they're gonna wanna move because they have to.
It's in their best interest.
It's in their best interest to move.
Right,
It's in their
okay.
best interest, yeah.
All right.
And, the last thing I'll say about this is, because it's pipe bursting, I think some of the contractors shied away too from because it's pipe bursting, but it was the easiest method we can find to be the least intrusive, that open
In our
cutting.
roadway.
That road. That's the main thoroughfare through the town. So that's why we're going pipe bursting. We're gonna go pipe bursting phase 2 because it's the center of the town and it's even more congested. We did reach out to the New Jersey Water Association to make sure that they know that phase 2 is going out to bid. If they have got pipe bursting contractors, throw them our way.
And if you, overnight, if you find one tomorrow,
That'll be for
why,
phase 2.
ask them, why didn't you bid in Hammonton? What happened?
This procedure, is it a safe procedure? What is it? Water, right?
Yeah,
Drinking water?
so
Yeah, he'll explain.
basically the way it works is you have a valve going to, say, a home or a business, then you have a valve going to a home or a business. They'll give you temporary water, they cut the valve out here, cut the valve out here, and they pull a pipe. What size is it, James?
It's proposed 12-inch.
Right, so it's an 8-inch pipe. So it's an existing 8-inch pipe, and they pull a 12-inch pipe through it, break the old pipe, go to the valve, hook it up, go to the next section.
And you don't disturb the roadway.
It's minimal disturbance. The other thing is, they chlorinate the pipe above ground. They seam it all, it's all welded and seamed above ground, and then they pull it through.
Yep.
Otherwise, to open cut this road, I don't know if you came down this way, it would be an utter catastrophe for us.
Now, this goes by Title 7, Chapter 10, the Safe Drinking Water Act?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a permit.
Safe drinking water permits.
Yep.
for this one, before we went out to bid. And DEP has all those
Because
papers.
there's other procedures that we do also, which is, it's a sleeve that goes over the broken pipe, right? Or goes inside the broken pipe, it's like a gas.
Right, but that's gonna make the pipe smaller.
That makes the pipe smaller, not larger.
Area, and then it becomes like another pipe inside the pipe.
Correct,
But
but
it
we
becomes
need to go
smaller.
larger, not smaller. We
need
need
a
to make our
larger- we need
pipes
larger,
larger,
not
not
smaller.
They
smaller.
come in different sizes. also.
Right, but if
we only-
we have an 8-inch pipe existing.
Oh, okay.
So if you sleeve it, now you're down to, say, 7. We need to go up to 12. We're upsizing, not
And
downsizing.
their capability is to do that.
Correct. All right. Any other discussion from
We
anybody?
would have swore that Pearson was gonna do this job, believe me when I tell you. I don't know. It's not our business.
All right, so everybody good discussion-wise? Anything else?
I just want to confirm with James, Mr. Malinsky, based upon the way the bid was filled out, I appreciate Mr. Culpepper's concern for the community. I think in a lot of ways we're aligned, because I want to make sure that the town, the taxpayers, everybody is in a position here where, God forbid anything went wrong with the way that this bid was filled out or anything. I understand they don't currently have an active public works registration license. I just want to ensure that everything was filled out in a fashion that is correct and does not open the town to any liability, the taxpayers any liability. I know we have these contingencies on the approval of this resolution tonight, and so I just want to make sure that we are, operating in a fashion here that kind of keeps everybody in a position that, we want to be in.
Yeah, so at bid opening, James takes the packet and then reviews it. We give a bidder's checklist. And all those documents are reviewed, yes.
Yes, then I sent out the recommendation letter to mayor and council, and also DEP, because they're the funding source. So they have to say yes as well. So they're also reviewing. We don't have the authorization to award yet, hence it's contingent upon their concurrence.
Correct. So it's not just the town checking paperwork, it's DEP, which is how we've worded this.
Yes.
Anything else from anybody on this side? On this side? That's good? All right. Roll call, please.
Councilperson Calderon?
Yes.
Marino?
Yes.
Matro?
Yes.
R. Rodeo?
Yes.
S. Rodeo?
Yes.
Shipione?
Yes.
Mayor Fagioni?
Yes, motion carried. All right, next item on the agenda. Public hearing.
Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night, sir. Thank you for coming.
This is bond ordinance number 11 of 2026, road program, police vehicles, computer upgrades. Motion to go open to the public?
Motion there.
Second.
Rodeo, I'm sorry, Marino and our Rodeo. All right, all those in favor, open to the public?
Aye.
Okay, we're open to the public. Seeing no one in the public, I'll accept the motion to publish, adopt and publish.
So moved.
Shipione first,
Second.
Marino second. So this is the fuel tank at the airport. This is the 4 police vehicles and all the outfitting that goes along with them. This is a road resurfacing program and also purchase of computer equipment we need for the town. Total 1.66.
Frank, it's computer equipment or copiers?
Computers.
Computers, copies, everything.
It's everything?
Equipment, yeah, because our, we need to upgrade our workstations for the employees, so that's majority of this, yes. Approximately 75,000.
All right, so any other discussion on that ordinance? Roll call, please, Frank.
Councilperson Calderon,
Yes.
Marino,
Yes.
Matro,
Yes.
R. Rodeo,
Yes.
S. Rodeo,
Yes.
Shipion,
Yes.
Mayor Fagioni.
Yes, motion carried. You're up, Frank.
Okay, items of resolutions. Resolution 99 of 2026, approval to submit a grant application for 11th Street. Resolution 100, approval to submit a grant application for for 9th Street roadway. Thank you. Did I say 100? Yeah, resolution 100.
Why don't we do those two, and we'll take 101 separate?
Okay.
Is that good? All right, so let's do those two real quick.
Okay. Well, I'll do the rest except for 101?
Yeah, all right, so skip 101.
Okay, we'll skip 101. Resolution 100, approval to submit grant application for 9th Street roadway improvements. Resolution 102, approval to join the County of Bergen Cooperative. Approval is read.
Yes.
Motion on those.
Motion, Mayor.
Second.
Calderon first, Matra second. All right, so here's what we have. We have the application for 11th Street, which is, this is to extend the sidewalk. We didn't get it last year, we're gonna try again this year. We have 9th Street, so the plan is trying to connect 2 county roads. We're applying for grant funding to go from First Road to Second Road. 9th Street's really got beat up here, so we're applying for funding for that, for a grant. The next one is
The Bergen County.
Bergen County.
Bergen County. Okay, so here's what Bergen County is. We're getting ready to order the prepackaged bathrooms at the lake. This would be at the playground. We got one price. This is a cooperative pricing through the state that allows us to get some, hopefully some better pricing and some better timeframes. The price we got was a little high, but it was also a year out. So we're trying to see if we can get a better price at a lower, better timeframe. That's to comply with Jake's law that we got a grant for. So that's what those 3 are for. We have 2 motions, discussion.
I'm sorry, are you, Frank, does this include the 101? the
No, we're
liquor-
skipping one, we're
Oh,
just,
okay.
we're gonna do 101
Everything
standalone.
but 101.
Thank you.
Yep.
You got it.
All right, so any other discussion on those? All right, roll call, please.
Councilperson Calderon,
Yes.
Marino,
Yes.
Matro,
Yes.
R. Rodeo,
Yes.
S. Rodeo,
Yes.
Shipion,
Yes.
Mayor Fagioni.
Yes, motion carried. All right, now let's go back to 101, which is approval of various, a renewal of liquor licenses. So let's start with a motion.
I'll make a motion.
R. Rodeo,
Second.
Calderon. All right, discussion on,
Yeah, I have, Frank, are you familiar with the owners of these licenses?
Not, sort
Okay.
of.
No, I was just checking because I know, I thought one was sold.
That has not come through yet. You're talking about Williamstown
No,
by right?
no, I was talking about,
Is it on the list?
I don't,
It's not on the list, then
I was asking about, Cap 25 properties.
That was Tomasello's. It's now
Okay,
Cap
so
25.
that, okay.
That transfer has gone
That's what I
through.
was
that was a
asking.
pocket to pocket already.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay, I was just
pocket
making sure,
transfer.
okay, yeah, just making sure because I saw the other
Yeah.
name, all right.
All right, any other discussion on that resolution? All right, we'll do a roll call on that one, too.
Councilperson Calderon?
Yes.
Marino?
Yes, and recuse on the Eagle Theaters Incorporated.
Matro?
Yes.
R. Rodeo?
Yes.
S. Rodeo?
yes.
Shipion?
Yes.
Mayor Fagioni.
Yes, motion carried.
And that concludes my report, that's
All
everything.
right, I have a couple things real quick. Do we have anything else? James, you got your marching orders, we're good. So NJDEP we're waiting on.
Yep.
As soon as we get that, we'll give them the letter to proceed, subject to all the other items that we want. Okay. Anything else before I jump into a couple things I want to just go over real quick? Anybody? All right, second opportunity from the public. Well, seeing no one.
That's a good thing.
We'll close the public portion. Here's my updates for everyone. One, on Friday, we received an email correspondence from Green Acres. Green Acres is awarding the town a $600,000 grant at the lake park to continue our work. We have a $600,000 town match, of which they're going to give us a $150,000 principal-only loan. So $600,000 grant, $150 principal-only loan, the other $450 comes from the town, which we already have an ordinance in place. So that'll keep that project at the lake rolling. That's the pavilion, the Kiwanis bandstand will be new, bocce courts, a certain level of stormwater management, an outdoor fitness area, so that'll all get going now. That's that. Two, I got an email today from Congressman Van Drew's office. The town is awarded $1.5 million for the airport. This was congressional discretionary aid. I talked about it last month. It was a long shot, but we got something. So we got $1.5 million. We already talked to, Frank and I talked to Can, who's our airport consultant. He thought that this would be fast-tracked now that FAA is more in tune with the way that these grants go. He gave us a timeline of about a year.
How much did we hope?
We were asking for 5.3. So the idea was to extend the taxiway going north and then build 2 hangars, new security gates, new cameras. Just one quick conversation with Ken, and I'm gonna have him come in the summer because we got a lot going on down there. This'll get us the taxiway.
Yep.
And then we could say, we could apply for discretionary funding again next year to continue, or we have a couple entities who may want to just do a ground lease and build their own.
Oh, good.
And I'm talking big hangars, no more little ones, big
Good.
hangars. So we got a couple interested parties in that. So there's a
Good.
couple ways we could play it, but it gets us moving.
So we're not dead.
We're not dead. Listen, we went from 3,800 down
Sure.
to 80. We'll take it.
Yeah.
So that'll, he thought that would take place, by the end of the year-ish. Couple of months to do design work that hopefully within a year we can get going on the actual project. So that's that. Green Acres will get going probably early part of next year by the time we get done.
Yes.
So that'll get that moving. Next, we're getting calls about the detour fiasco off of Weymouth Road. DOT, after months of us requesting some relief, granted it. We're still waiting on signs. They put some wrong signs up today, so even though it's not an ARH issue, ARH is involved, Mr. Rodeo's involved. We're all involved in trying to get these detours right because putting trucks on 9th Street, putting trucks on Lakeview Drive is killing our local roads. We did talk to Transit about it. They're aware of it. They know that our roads are getting beat up. And we're trying to get these signs resolved before we get into really in the blueberry season. And we got trucks everywhere going in all the wrong directions. So we're on that. Next, we got a complaint today. It's a valid complaint. The construction project on Bellevue Route 54, it needs some addressing. So James sent an email to the engineer for the state. Handicap ramps they're still covered, which we've asked for a couple of months. There's pavement missing up against the sidewalks or curb lines that has to be fixed. There's stone base put down and there's no there's no brick. So we're working with the DOT, 1, to get the punch list items fixed. 2, to request exactly what it is they're gonna do to wrap down their project so that we can start our pipe work. We can't be working all simultaneously, it's gonna get worse. So I think that meeting's in a couple of weeks, right, James?
Right.
Couple of weeks, we'll get back with the DOT to try to figure out how they're gonna wind down 54 to let us get started and do a punch list. They're aware of the 250th celebration, they're aware of our parades, they're aware of the 16th. They know the importance of getting this thing wrapped up. Every intersection you look at, It's not great. They made a mess by the, Carver Road, by all of our Chamber of Commerce stuff. So we got a lot of little messes that they have to clean up. We're aware of it, we're on it. Last thing, I just want to address this. Last month, I talked about asking for some funds to have an AI consultant come here and talk to us. We're going to put that on hold. So here's where we are with this whole situation. Number one, an AI data center, Mr. Malinsky, correct me if I'm wrong, is a non-permitted use in the town.
That's correct.
Okay. So,
Currently, it's not
it's a non-permitted use.
it's not, doesn't fall under any of our currently permitted uses or a category of our permitted uses.
Correct. So, having said that, there is no developer who's interested. If a developer ever becomes interested in developing a data center here, it would have to start at planning and zoning for a variance. Now, I haven't asked anybody this yet, so I'll ask it here. I would assume, let's say a developer does come, they would still have to come here to us because of the level of complexity and the,
No, here's what would happen.
Okay.
First off, it would be a use variance because it's not permitted anywhere in the zone.
okay,
And with that, it'd be a use variance and preliminary and final major site plan approval. How I would see someone trying to do this is through a bifurcated application in which they would attempt to go for the use variance first. But again, it would be a use variance. It would require 5 affirmative votes from our planning board in order to get approved. And that would be at the planning board at that point. Now, if it was approved, someone could appeal that approval to mayor and council, okay, if they wanted to. Or if it was approved and someone was challenging it, they could file a complaint in lieu of prerogative right directly to the Superior Court, but they have both options under the statute at that point in time.
okay.
And then, if it's denied, it ends. If it was denied at the planning board level, it ends. If it was approved and denied at council level, if someone appealed it here, then it would end. Or if it was overturned at Superior Court, it would end. However, if it was approved and it went through, then they would have to file a certificate of filing with Pinelands. At that point, get a certificate of filing for preliminary and final major site plan approval. Once they got the certificate of filing from Pinelands, then they would be able to come before the board for preliminary and final major site plan approval.
All right, so that's,
Can-
that, well, let
Go
me
ahead.
finish my thought.
Oh, go ahead.
So, okay, so it's a non-permitted use. You heard how Mr. Malinsky said how it would have to be considered an approved use. In addition to that, Mr. Malinsky and I spoke with Mr. Lanute from Pinelands, who was going to come on the 22nd, but he's on vacation.
That's correct.
He's on vacation.
He was
So,
on,
what-
well, yeah, on the 20, he was getting back on the 21st, and he was actually gonna come to our meeting on the 22nd.
so he's going to send us guidance that we will be able to put on the website regarding data centers and the Pinelands and all that sort of stuff. I say all this to simply say, I was trying to get enough education. What's going on in other municipalities has got me a little bit concerned that we don't do the wrong thing here. But I do think that the right course of action, in just my opinion, is that's it. The subject just goes. If a developer ever comes forward, we'll go down that road if we need to.
You don't have to do anything. Right now, they're not permitted. If anyone wants to do them, it's a use variance. There's no point in adopting an ordinance to prohibit them, no point in adopting an ordinance to put a moratorium, because they're already not permitted in the town of Hammonton.
I mean, we had someone come to the planning board the other night who has 22 acres and farms it, and just because he has some wetlands, it took him 4 years to build his house. 4 years to get Pinelands approval
7th Street.
to build his house. So I mean, you know, it would probably take a miracle, I would say.
I was doing
I'll
some
go on
research on it, and not that I was ignorant to the fact previous. I was more concerned about adopting a proper zoning law so that we were covered. I didn't want to do something wrong. That's why I thought the public comment was good, but we researched that we're beyond that. And here's what I would say to you, in my opinion again. If I'm a developer trying to develop these, and they're trying to develop them fairly quickly, they're trying to get a lot online, why would you come, not just to Hammonton, why would you get entangled in the Pinelands if you don't have to? That's just my opinion. I think that the Pinelands is going to bog you down. It's one of the most intrusive, maybe that's not the right word, it's one of the most regulated areas in the country.
Good word.
That's a better word, regulated,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
I think if I'm a developer trying to develop one of these things, coming in the Pinelands the money you would spend trying to get through it, where you can go to other areas where you don't have the regulation, that makes more sense, so, you know, that's my
They're not
man's
coming,
opinion.
they're not coming to a municipality that's in the Pinelands unless it's either a conditional use or permit use.
Right.
Just not happening.
That's why they went right across the line in Vineland. If you go on the map,
Vineland,
you go-
Williamstown,
Vineland, where they're at, it's still Vineland, it's not Millville.
Yeah.
They
It
are
is Vineland.
a half a mile across the line.
that's Vineland, Williamstown, and Gloucester County.
Yep, absolutely
So,
right.
but so, the June 22nd meeting will take place, but the AI conversation will not, and I think we got valid reasons, I think we're all covered here, so. Like I said, I got over my skis, I apologize.
You were doing the right
I
thing.
did,
You
but
didn't get over your skis.
I tend to get too crazy. I told Frank the other day, I said, Frank, I gotta slow down here because, you know, just dealing with this Route 54 thing is gonna be a
Yeah.
full-time
We-
job, going out there babysitting them. We don't need to take on 10 more projects right now, so,
My opinion is that some acts beyond our control, I think, that people wanted to either make us look bad or hurt.
Exactly, that's all.
That's what
Exactly
happened.
right, Ray.
That's fine.
And it was mass hysteria and
Yeah,
everything hit and it was very well organized, I will say that.
He was trying to do the right thing for the
Correct.
town here.
so, but
Correct.
I just wanted to
We
get that out
have
to
4
everybody.
major projects going on in this town
Yeah.
now that'll set us for the next 10 years.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so we
So-
got plenty of work to do, there's no lack of work.
So just like we told Mr. Union, that's where it's at. We got.
And we
like
could
told
always,
Mr. Union,
you know, but Pinelands really needs to adopt some sort of language that helps all these municipalities too. It just makes good sense, because otherwise everyone's just flying in the blind. But I do agree with Mr. Malinsky in that a data center coming here, it just doesn't seem like a good idea to me, just because of the nature of the regulatory area that we deal with, so. So, that's off. The meeting is on the 22nd. We're good with this contractor. We'll see how the whole thing goes, in terms of if DEP concurs or not, and we'll move forward with that. All right, anything else, because I really talked too much.
Sorry, Mayor, one question. I want to go back to item 2 with the 1.5 million that we got for the airport. Andrew, your item 2.
Oh, my item too.
Your item 2. Do you think that was fast-tracked, or we ended up getting that because the Flying W closed? And if they're looking to come to Hammonton?
So it's funny you say that, because we had a meeting last week about grants, right? And we're in the meeting with grants, and we're going over everything. And like I said last month, it went from 3,800 to 900 to 80. Mike from Triad said something that I thought was interesting, and he said, look, the grant's a long shot for the airport. But not only did Van Drew support it and push it forward, Booker signed on for it, and so did Kim. And he goes, and I don't know his exact words, but it was very rare to have a congressman and both of your senators push this forward.
Yeah.
So I think the Flying W had a lot to do with it, because regionally it makes sense for us to expand and take over that. But I also think that because, you know, Van Drew championed this, and because I guess you could say it was bipartisan, you had Kim and Booker sign on to it, it certainly helped us. And the other thing I'll say about it, I think I mentioned it before, when we had our meeting, when they started reducing the number with Booker's guy, he was the transportation guy for Booker, maybe Kim shares it, I don't know how all that works up there.
Yeah.
But we were told, it was in bold letters, the email, you get 15 minutes on the Zoom with this guy. He's gonna ask you 1 question, 2 questions, and he's gonna shut you down. We talked for 40.
Yep.
So I felt, I said, okay, maybe they are interested in us. And we just kept talking about the Flying W, talking about what we're trying to do out there, and I don't know, maybe it worked. So, look, we'll take the 1.5, it's a win, it's a huge win, and we'll do a full presentation this summer, kind of come up with plans, so everybody's on board with
And
it.
they may have had a couple other airports too. I mean, they just can't give all the money to
Well,
one
they shot
airport.
Woodbine down.
Okay,
Woodbine asked for money and they shot him down.
but we're not sure exactly where else the money went.
I have no idea. Listen,
Yeah, I mean,
I
To
don't-
make it clear, we can't put a data center at the airport,
we
right?
cannot, we cannot.
I'm just checking.
We
Maybe
cannot.
10 hangars or,
Still
no?
Pinelands.
Still
No,
Pinelands.
Mayor, as you are aware, that I've always supported the airport.
There's a possibility at the
I think it's
plant.
a
There's a
dime
lot of
and
water
a
down there.
A lot of towns would kill to have their own.
I
airport.
agree, I agree.
We do, and I think it's imperative that the council as a whole move forward down there.
Absolutely.
I mean, we do have a full plate, we are working for what is the best interest of the residents of Hammonton. The comment that had been made a couple of council meetings ago, that we're not proactive, is just plainly wrong.
Yeah, I think that, give us 18 months, the airport will look different, much
Oh,
different.
I agree with you. We're all on the same page with that.
So, all right. Anything else? Anybody on this side? Anybody on this side? You guys good? James, you good? Mike, you good?
I'm good.
All right. Motion to adjourn?
Motion, Mayor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, thanks, everyone. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't